What's going on, everyone? My name is Eric Biccioni. I'm an American living in Russia. I wanted to make this video to just give an overview of how my experience has been in the last 9, 10 months since we've been here. We're coming up on a full year of living in Russia, even though other people were saying that we wouldn't last 2 weeks living here for some unknown reason. So it was nice because this whole transition, this whole move, was months and years in the making to come out here. So I wanted to make a video to just highlight my overall experiences of coming to Russia and just my thoughts throughout the whole process of what we expected and how this whole process came to be. So from the top, I mean, moving here has changed our lives. Like, it's changed my life for sure. It's been very advantageous for us to make the move because one, our big goal was to have a family and to build a family together, and my wife just gave birth to our second child, so that wouldn't have been possible. It would have been very, very, very difficult to do that in the States, and it wasn't even a choice that we really even were considering. By living in the States, it was almost like the first kid we had was just out of reach. It was out of touch. So one of my highest priorities in life is to focus on my family and make sure that they're protected and taken care of. And it was hard enough to do that with one kid in the States, with just the amount of expenses that come with that. You're basically paying a mortgage in medical bills and housing costs and school and all these other things like daycare, just to keep the standard of living normal. Like, just to pay for a child, like, kids are expensive, and it wasn't something that we wanted to just, be in crazy debt the rest of our life, because we decided to do something that almost everyone naturally progresses towards, which is having kids. Like, we wanted to come to Russia. Well, for one, my wife is Russian, so that made life easy. It wasn't like we just threw a dart on a map and said, oh, Russia, let's just move there. There was a progression that came into it. Like, my wife has family out here, and we've come to Russia, and she grew up here and went to school in the States for college, and then we met in college and came we worked around America. We lived in Texas, and we went to Ohio, and kind of just traveled around, and just eventually figured, if we're really wanting to raise a family and really have an ecosystem that we can support our kids in, Russia makes the most logical sense. And there's a lot of mentality shifts that we're aligned with that made the move make sense for us. So moving has far and away changed our lives for the better. Like, we have everything we need. There are multiple grocery stores nearby. I mean, there's beautiful parks around the corner. We have family within 5-minute walks each way. We can go to downtown in 15 minutes, 20 minutes. I mean, we still don't have a car, and we've been here for a year. It's not like we haven't been. I mean, we would like a car, sure, but the infrastructure here where we're living in Russia, we're not in Moscow, by the way, but where we're living in Russia is solid enough to where we can get to where we need to go without too many hiccups and without too many issues. So it made sense for us to make the move out here. Opportunities have been popping up. I mean, of course, it's nice to know English natively, but I've been approached by multiple English speaking clubs and have been in contact with people to have meetings together. I've gone to universities to have language exchanges. Like, it's been a really cool opportunity to just help people with their own journey of learning English. And that's like a huge goal of mine, is just to help people. And that's such a broad topic. Like, I have past experience. I was a football coach, and I was helping young athletes with their technique. And it's nice to blend that now with living here. Like, it's awesome to know that I can help people just doing what I natively do and just providing value to others. So it's been nice to be able to just come to the country and be able to get immersed in this culture and provide value in some way. And it's nice because it wasn't just like a super easy move where we just grabbed our suitcases and we were here and that was it. Like there was months of back and forth, but this risk or this decision to come here has been a godsend. Like we're so thankful that we're here now, because every day when we check the news or we get on like Telegram and just see what's going on in the world, it just seems that the United States is a little bit of a sitcom at sometimes. Like it's a comedy show where it's like you can't look away because there's always something crazy going on. And hopefully that will turn around soon. But it's been quite a journey to look online and see that there's always something hectic going on. So it's been fun to be in a place where it's just super simple. Like all of our needs are met. Everything that we need is right around the corner. But I mean, I've lost maybe 5 or 6 kilos, like over 10 or 12 pounds since I've lived in Russia. And it's not like I'm doing anything drastic. I'm just eating better. The quality of food is substantially better, but I'm also just going on walks more. We're playing with kids and we're just outside enough, even in the winter. Like we're outside doing stuff, and it's nice to be able to have a lifestyle that supports your goals and not get bogged down by it. And you have a way of life that is built around what you find important. So it's been nice to be able to have healthier choices as well. Like we just installed a gym setup that you have pull-ups and dips that you can do on the wall. So that's been nice to just be able to do that around the house. But the consumerism mindset is also not nearly as present here. Like we have more than what we need. We're very grateful for everything we already have, and we understand that there's no need to chase the next thing. It seems super, super common in the States to have this mindset of like, I gotta have that next car, the biggest house, the shiniest watch, all these things. That's present in any country, I would imagine. But talking with people here, like I'll go to English clubs and just communicate openly about life in the States or how life is here. Everyone's very down to earth and modest. And I'll talk to people all the time on different channels and social media apps, and it just seems like a common theme that people in Russia or just in general have a very simple mindset. They're not out to get the next thing and just chase the next purchase. It's like, how can I support my family? Because the family is all you need. And once you have family, you have everything. At least that's how I've always viewed it. And it's been nice to be around that environment because it's like a bunch of like-minded people. So not to make this like, everything that we've been looking for has been accomplished in Russia. It's just like, it's been cool to know that, nothing ridiculous has been happening since we've been here, where like, who freaking knows? Like we're, homeless for a time. It was a very simple process to come here from the standpoint of like what we wanted. Like we lived with my wife's parents for 6 or 7 months to get this place renovated and to get it updated. So it's been quite a process to get to where we're at today, but I wouldn't have it any other way. Like I'm very, very, very thankful to be in this spot and just be where we're at. And I apologize for not making these videos as often as I used to. I mean, it's been a lot tougher to do so recently, especially with the new kid and work has been ridiculous. So I'm on calls a lot, so I don't have a ton of time to like make a ton of videos, but hope you guys had some feedback or have any got any value out of this. But I mean, if I was to close this out, I think that whatever risk means to you, you will never really understand what it could feel like unless you take that risk. So like, I've always looked at things as, it's a risk. Everything has risk. Staying exactly where you're at has a risk to it, or like an opportunity cost. So there's a risk in doing anything, moving abroad or staying where you're at for 20 years, like never considering to go anywhere or travel, for example. All of the best things that's ever happened to my wife and I have usually resulted from some kind of crazy idea. Like when we first bought our house in Ohio, that came from a trip that we took to South America for 2 weeks. And that spawned this idea that, hey, like maybe we actually don't need to just stay in Texas our whole life and can actually explore the world a little bit. And that opened up the door to, hey, like we don't actually have to just struggle paying medical bills every time we have a kid, or, we don't have to pay almost 80% of our salary to just cover basic necessities like food and housing and all these things. Like it's nice to know that there is another alternative out there. And for us, it was like the risks of moving were more than worth it for the benefits we could get to be near family and to have a better support system and just a better education system for our children growing up, so that the Russian views are more in line with ours. So what I'm getting at is you have to take some level of risk in life. And that was what we realized is coming here. There's so many doors that have been opened up because we took that chance and just said, worst case scenario, if it doesn't work out, we could always consider going back, or maybe we go somewhere else and just try to figure it out along the way. But we didn't have all the answers when we came to Russia, and we still don't know plenty. There's so many things that we do or don't know, and we're just figuring it out as we go. But our reason for coming here was more than big enough to make it make sense to actually show up. So that was my realization, coming here, was just being dead set on what's important to us, what do we want, and then how can this decision make sense for what we want, long term, 15, 20 years from now. Like, would we look back in 20 years and say we're happy with what we did, or we're disappointed? Like if we stayed where we're at in Ohio, what would life look like in 15 years or 20 years? And to us, it was like the decision was so clear to come here instead and just take that chance. Now, I'm not saying everyone watching this video should just pack up their stuff and go to Russia specifically. It's a great country. I mean, there's a lot of reasons that we like it here, but we could get into that in another video. But I mean, the main point is, for us at least, was moving was such a scary thing, but it did so much for us, and it's become this solidified point in our heads that you have to take a chance, you have to take a risk, and things might actually turn out better than you ever could have imagined. Because the one thing that we do not want and will never want is to get to 80 years old or 85 years old and think and regret about us not taking enough chances in life, and rather just taking the safe path. Like, there is a time and place to play it safe, but we are young and we can take crazy risks, like moving across the world without really ever putting a full formal plan in place and just deciding that this is a good enough reason to go. Let's just figure it out along the way. So our why was way bigger than all the other excuses and like the how-tos and everything else. And it was very, very clear. So hopefully that whole video makes sense. I appreciate you guys watching. Again, I'll do my best to make more videos as I can kind of come up with ideas, but I try to make these super simple, like heart-to-heart type videos. So appreciate you guys watching. Happy to make content around things that you guys want, but just felt like this is something I wanted to voice as I've been here for just shy of a year now. It's been really cool. So maybe you got something out of this. Hopefully I gave you guys some help or value in this regard, but it's nice to just kind of vent for a little bit. But appreciate you watching, and God bless. Stay tuned.